Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. I covered.
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
We're not going to go head-to-head like Usyk and Fury just did. We got a lot to get to on the show, guys. How are you? Welcome into a Thursday episode of the Bostonian versus the book. He is Dave Sharapan. I am Matt Perrault. We will go to Massachusetts at some point during this show for a conversation about how does a same-game parlay get to be, well, a $4,000 handle into a $600,000 liability for a book that now is going and saying, you got to give us the money back. We can't pay these bets out, guys. You have to let us void this because it was a mistake. Who's responsible? We'll find all of that. Robert Linehan's going to join us from the Mass Gaming Commission hearing at some point during the show today, live on YouTube and Twitter. We have some new toys on the YouTube chat. When Dave says, guys, put it in the chat, we can ask you now without having you to do that. It's amazing. We have poll questions and we have actual Q&A questions to ask you guys in the live chat. Another reason why watching the show live is going to be more fun than, well, watching it on replay. Although we do love you guys who watch it on replay and listen on replay as well. Yeah. The heartbeat of the show really is that live chat, though. So come on over. If you're watching on Sports Grid TV or listening on Sirius XM, come watch the show live for a day. You might just really enjoy it and stick around when we go live at 11 PST, 2 P Eastern at some point every day. How are you, sir? Yes. All kinged out today.
Yeah. My biggest concern when we just discover this right before we're going to start is that you have more tabs open and more things to play with during the show. This is a big concern, but the chat is here. The boys, the girls are here. We're going to play around with this today. Experimental. We'll ask questions. There's poll questions. You go on and vote. Please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you can. Tell one person about the show. It's growing every day. We don't even know what we did to get this thing open. Options. Perrault says, wait, what is this? As we're getting ready. Are you ready? I said, yeah. He said, wait, hold on. What is this? Oh, I said, what is new emojis? He's like, I don't know. We got new emojis. Wait, we got a question thing. We can ask questions and have the people vote. So the first question is up. How do you guys watch the show? And like, how do you answer that question? I watch it on all devices. I don't watch it. I listen to it. I don't know, but that's the first question in there. It's an open-ended question. There'll be some close-ended questions coming. There's hats on the way to people. I don't know how Sonic already got his, but Sonic got his hat. I don't even know, but I got
that was fast.
Yeah, I got the DM today. The guy's got the hat. He posted it at Sonic, SONNIK. Looks good. He said it feels good. So that's good. And we're here. This thing with the DraftKings and the Massachusetts thing is like, I saw it. Like, we don't know what we're doing yet with the poll question, but the books, you got to know what you're doing when you put the odds out, when you put the bets out. Because if you then do it and you get crushed in $4,000 in handle to pay out $575,000 in losses, that's not knowing what you're doing. You can't not know what you're doing because you get beat, you get crushed.
So interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I can't wait to what the answer is going to be. And we're going to get to Robert at some point during the show today to have his conversation as to what exactly is going on in that commission. What are they asking for? What's the reason that they're asking to void the bets? Because DraftKings is saying, not our fault. We didn't do it. It was our third party
provider.
That was their fault, not our fault.
Gave
It's
us
their
the
fault.
odds, and then like there has to be an agreement between the book and the third party provider that if you give us bad odds and we put them out, you got to pay. And the third party provider says, "Well, hold on, we give you the odds. You got to check them before you put them out. We ain't paying squadouche." Oh, now we have a problem because the people made the bets. Was 137 bets. I can't imagine the little bit of like communication that went out in the Discord. Not our Discord. What is our
Right.
Discord, by the way?
bvbshow.com.
Which is also
And you're
free
in
to-
there now. I mean,
free
you're
to join
you're
and
in
enter.
there. Dave's actually in there.
Yeah. So there's there's ways to communicate this information. Hey, Jimmy in Amherst says to Johnny in Attleboro or whatever the place
Wow,
is.
those are good mass names. Wow, look at you.
Right?
There
Well,
you
listen,
go.
we do Roll Call Friday every week. I pay attention to the people that watch the show.
There's an
from
Amherst.
all
There's
these
an
different
I don't
places
think we
in
ever
Mass.
had an Amherst mass, but that would be phenomenal if one of my UMass brethren, or
How
maybe
about
Amherst
Acton?
College.
Acton's another place.
My aunt and uncle live in Acton. I've spent
Okay,
many a
there
time
we
in
go.
Acton. What are you going through the
We're paying
A's? Attleboro, Acton, Amherst, Andover. Like, what's next?
I knew you were from Andover, so
I
that's
know.
why I didn't say that one because
Right.
that was too easy. But
Uh-huh.
they all tell each other, like, hey, check this out. They got the parlays for the first quarters in the games. You can put these together. These are all winners. Oh. And then you play, and usually you get paid when you win, but this might be a no pay. This might be a no pay. So we're going to find out, hopefully, exactly from Robert.
We have had this here in Vegas, right?
What,
in
same game
Vegas?
parlays?
No, we've had issues like this where a third party puts up odds that are not accurate. If you put in Vegas, if you put this up, you're responsible, right? You pay the ticket as the ticket is written, correct?
The gaming commission usually 95% of the time says tickets go as written.
Why
it's
wouldn't
just a
Mass
rule.
follow that?
Well, because in Nevada, there are no third-party odds providers. You put up your own odds. You're responsible for your own
Wait a minute.
odds. in
Boyd
your
is using
book.
FanDuel odds right now.
This is new. But they have people sitting in the room that take them, clean them up, shave them. I guarantee there's some that may not look exactly like they do in New Jersey or in New York
It's close though,
or
I mean,
something
it's-
like that. No, it's close, but
yeah, I bet them a lot.
I think now this is a new thing. So I think if it comes up in Nevada, they're going to have a hard time.
Like,
The books
play
are
it
gonna
out,
have
right?
a hard time
Play it
not
out for a
paying.
second. But play it out for a
Yeah.
second. Say DraftKings was legal here, right?
Mhm.
And DraftKings, this is happening in Mass. I'm not sure why it's only happening in Massachusetts because I'm assuming it was a nationwide problem, right? For DraftKings.
We'll find out the exact details from Linehan. I don't
Okay.
know. The
'Cause
way he
let's just-
described it was this was the mass part of it.
Right. So then it could be happening in every single state that DraftKings, or maybe there was a mass group that 137 bet number comes from a syndicate in Massachusetts or a Discord, if you will, in Massachusetts. And they're the ones that place all the bets. So it's the mass gaming control, the mass
Yeah,
gaming
this could have
commission.
happened 10 times in 10 different states. The number could be
Right.
$5 million that it got beat for if this was on the same scale.
So they're trying to get a precedent put in place, right? So
They're
if
trying
Mass
to get it to
voids it,
somebody that will actually listen.
okay, so if Mass voids it, right, and says, okay, the Mass Commission says we're not paying these bets, they can go to every other state in America and say, I'm not paying because Mass, I'm not paying because of Mass. They're saying that we don't have to pay, so you have to agree that there's already a commission that's ruled on this. There's the precedent. Because in Nevada, they're not legal here, but if it happened here, I would love to see it because you could have two different rulings from two different commissions. Mass can say, okay, DraftKings, you're not liable, but Nevada can say, hold on a second, of course you're liable.
Right.
And then other states might have to pick which side they want to roll with.
That's I think that's the next level layer to the whole thing, because there's some states that'll rubber stamp. Oh, you guys said you don't want to pay. Okay, don't pay, and then people are like, well, what do you mean? Well, no, you guys took a shot. You lost. You get your money back. It's it. It's voided. Don't do it again. And then all those accounts that did it are allowed to bet 20 cents on same game parlays. They don't turn you off. They let you bet 20 cents. That's the new thing in the industry. They let you bet 20 cents so they can waste your time. You think you can build the same game parlay or take your shot, then you go to put it in for 100, a nickel, a dime, whatever these guys are betting it. And it says, comes back to them, your limit on this is 20 cents. Do you want it? That's the book's way of saying,
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think same game parlays are going to be auto-generated in the future, meaning the books won't let you build it yourself?
What do you think they're pushing these things for? They
I know.
can control those.
I'm playing the
Right.
role of you here. I know the answer to the
Right.
question when I'm asking it.
Of course, that's what they're trying to do, so they could limit the, exposure, limit the possibilities of finding correlations, and limit the mistakes. If I put 10 same game parlays out, this one by L. Duncan, this one by Scott Van Pelt, this one by, and I'm just using ESPN
course.
names because the ESPN bet is constantly berated into my head right now. I can't get away from it. But yeah, you put 10 of those out, you only have to watch 10. Oh, wait, I want to build it myself. Go to another place. We don't want it. I mean, it's eventually going to come to the point because they can't be priced right. We were going back and forth with the Jedi and the doctor today a little bit. Matty Chaps was talking about, his job at his joint was to scan the information that came across. And I said, well, okay, that's great. One set of eyes looked at it. Hold on. What if you missed something? Cost me $500,000 today. How do I have you come in tomorrow, or do I have you pack up your desk? I don't know what to do with that. So what's the answer? We'll just build it for them. Let them play them. That's what they want. I don't know. They must do millions and millions of dollars in handle on this stuff. Millions.
On what? On same game parlays or the pre-populated ones?
No, on the same game parlays, because they're even willing to fight this fight. I don't understand.
Oh, we know that's the case. It's their highest margin in the book.
I know it's the highest margin. I don't know how much handle it does to warrant stiffing everybody when you make a mistake.
Well,
I mean, you give the bets back on bad beats. Obviously, why would they even? This must be a big nut.
Yes.
This must be a big nut to have this fight. Otherwise, they would just pay it and say, go away. Watch it closer.
Again, if it's 137 bets in Massachusetts, what is it in New York? What is it in New Jersey? What is it in Illinois? What is it in Michigan? What about the big population states that DraftKings is legal in? Are they trying to get a precedent set in their home backyard where they employ, I believe DraftKings is still the second biggest employer in the state, that they go on their home turf to a place that could be friendly to them to get it set for precedent?
I have a question for the chat that you can type right now.
Okay.
Do you do same game parlays? Yes or no? We'll get a feel for our audience and these people that are watching the show that want to know what the show is about and possibly want to come in and be sponsors and everything. They can see the answers to the questions. Do you do a same game parlay? I am going to go in the chat and vote no, because I never did and I never will. I mean, it's not for me, but some people might. And I am not the customer all the time. That's fine. But
this is so neat watching this in real time. This is so fun.
Look at this.
This is so fun watching this.
Go in the chat and vote.
This is cool watching it in real time. This is really neat watching it bounce back and forth.
Just what you need. Another tab open, something else to look at.
It's literally going, it's going ding, 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 back and forth. That's really cool. Sorry, I know for you guys watching, you guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing on the back end. I know it's a little bit of a selfish comment, but it's neat. You can watch all the different votes go crazy while we're doing it.
2 legs is a parlay. That doesn't count. Like side to total, no. That I'm thinking it's got to be like a same game parlay with a prop, 3 or more. That's a same game parlay. So we're just qualifying because a 2-game parlay is fine. Like that's
because I do same game teasers. So technically
like that's fine.
Yeah.
That's part of the business. They didn't reinvent the wheel with this. What they've done with the same game parlays is put different props and things together that are not priceable by normal operating systems. So they've had to integrate and say, well, we offer same game parlays and we can price them for you. Well, good, because it's going to take me an hour to price each one of these to know that they're getting the proper payout, because all I want to do is offer you the proper payout. Instead, what they're doing is taking these sorry, Will, bullshit payouts, and then telling them that's what it pays.
This is so interesting.
What?
55% of our audience so far. Now 53, it's changed, literally changing on the second, but so far the first indication is a slightly yes. Like JC from KC says, same game parlays get me through these bleep primetime games.
Oh.
Same game parlays are good in hockey to limit the juice. Addison writes that. I hit a big one, Crunchy said, for 5K last year.
Well, man, that's the allure of them, right?
Of course, they're lottery tickets.
I mean, lottery tickets or advantage parlays. Like, the books think they're lottery tickets and they're trying to market them as lottery tickets, but they're not willing to accept that there are OGs, snipers, ghosts, gangsters, Discord groups that will find every single one of those soft spots and go, put that together with that together and that together.
Yeah. So
and then we bam.
If I did same game parlays, and they aren't really available here in Nevada, they are at certain books, but not really the books that I bet at. But if I had bet Creighton team total first half, Creighton over first half, Jay's team total over, game over, plus 12 on Iowa.
We'd have thrown you out.
It's a 5-leg moneyline parlay. I hit them all.
Yeah.
I hit them all. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we're talking about, guys. It's I had the Creighton versus Iowa game nailed. Everything came in. If I put it all together, and who knows, a 5-leg parlay probably
20
is
to 1.
5-leg
standard payout for a 5-game parlay with minus 110 odds is anywhere between 20 to 1 and 25 to 1, depending on what book you shop at.
But the same game parlay odds aren't necessarily always following that, right?
No, because the juice is different.
Right.
So you might have to lay 120 and then you got 130. And then what you do is you go to a parlay calculator and they're available at a bunch of different sites. You put in the prices of what you have. And then you go back and you check the same game parlay. 9 times out of 10, they're worse odds. 9 times out of 10, they're worse than what if you got the true odds of what the parlay should pay. So keep that in mind. But it still would have been a nice hit. I mean,
Sure. No, it would have been great. I would have taken it.
For $10 and you get 20 to 1. All of a sudden you hit for 200.
Yeah, it's $200. I'll take it. 2 seconds. Yes.
All right.
I mean, that's just where, and imagine that on a large scale where there's 10
100 different one of you.
Right.
Our group that watches us every day is large. It's growing every day. If 100 of you decided to do that, if we said to do that and you did it, Matt did it, and 100 of you did it, as the book now, for $20 a piece, 20 times 20 is 400. Okay, so 100 of you did it. So now we lose 40 dimes. Thanks for coming. Like, what are we doing? How did this happen? They don't come up for approval. Like, nobody even knows the exposure or whatever until you get to the end. And then you go, well, geez, you got to hit 5 things. Some books are like, take it. That's fine. We're happy to pay it. But then other books are like, I don't know. I mean, there's an old saying that I can't remember who told me. I think it was Jimmy Vaccaro. But it was like they bet a toothpick to win a lumber yard.
Fair.
It's you're swinging for the fences.
Always. That's gambling, though, right? That's lotteries, gambling. Why we play roulette? Like, why play roulette? Like, roulette, all that is swinging for the fences. You're trying to nail the number.
Well, that's entertainment. That's what everybody tells you. It's entertainment.
But that's what gambling is. That's what sports betting is. It's all entertainment.
Oh, that's not what the promises of parallelograms and all that. They tell you it's earning. It's investing. Zero-sum game.
It's investing.
Not entertainment.
Yeah. It's like the stock market. I love that line. It's the stock market. Yeah, sure it is. It's such nonsense. And like, that's our audience is 60-40 to the yes, by the way. Which I think that's accurate. I think that there are more people.
That's great. 58, 42, 49 votes. It's going up look at this. This is fun. This is great. And it's not to to bad rap anybody that does them or say that because you do them, you're better than someone that does them. It's inconsequential.
No, I compared to this. Okay. There's a guy here in Vegas. I think it's Vegas Matt. It's not the guy we know. It's not Matty from the other side. It's a guy who's a slot player who goes by Vegas Matt, I believe is what he goes by. His whole social media, I think he has like 1.5 million people who follow him.
Wow.
He just plays.
Get him on the show?
Yeah, sure. He plays slot machines. He's a professional slot machine player. And he goes around and plays high limit slots and videotapes himself putting, $3,000, $5,000 into a machine and plays the game out. And he shows people. Oh, yeah. 100% people watch this.
Okay.
Because they are learning different games, different slot machines, and they live vicariously through somebody who's playing high stakes slot machines. That's entertainment. Even though he's playing and making and winning a lot of money, he is showing the audience how to do it so that when they go, they can, try it the same way, not maybe the high stakes, but people like that stuff. That's the entertainment side. Gambling is supposed to be entertainment. Okay. It just is. You can make it a profession if you want to have that life. It's really hard. It's really, really difficult.
It's really hard.
Casino in the books, you guys are always playing at every case. You're playing defense to make sure you're not getting ripped off by
you're
somebody.
Always looking for the scam. That's what you always have to be looking for, the sharks that are looking at literally, make you the chum every day.
Because the edge, the more someone plays, the more advantageous it is for you, the book.
Correct.
11 versus 10 built this thing.
Right. Yes.
Slot machines, look, everyone says play blackjack. It's the best odds in the casino are at blackjacks. Okay. But like people still go and play Pai Gow and they still go and play other table games consistently, 3-card stud poker is awful, Hold'em, awful. People play it, they go and do it. You see them all the time playing these games. They don't know any better. People don't like the math. They don't want to do the math. People don't want to do the math.
You definitely don't like the math.
People don't want to do same game parlay odds to do true odds. I'd rather have a book, and there's books you can have. I love odds. I love learning. I'm not smart enough to figure them out on the fly. To sit there and go, okay, I have a 45% chance of this happening or a 65% chance of this happening.
Right.
I'm not doing the math in my head on the odds. No way. Give me a card that says, hey, by the way, this is what you should do in this situation. I love the blackjack card. The blackjack card is phenomenal. Just tell me what the fuck to do. It's great. Okay, hey, he's got a 5 showing and I got an 8. Okay, I hold. That's great. Wait, he has a 2 and I have a 3. I'm hitting. Okay, great. Like, that's phenomenal stuff. I want that. Because that's just to do the math for me. Because in blackjack, there's only a finite number of hands you can actually have.
The problem is blackjack when you're sitting next to a guy who does nothing that's on the card, and you're like, dude, what are you doing? You can't hit that.
Right.
You're going to take the bus card. Inevitably, it seems like it goes against you more often than not. I don't know. That's what I mean. There's people that'll watch that. I've seen that. That's my life. I've seen guys come in and put in $50,000 in a slot machine and lose. I've seen people lose way more than I see win. And we don't know how those videos get edited. Guy walks in and puts 3,000 and does 100 a spin. It's 30 spins if he don't get nothing. I mean, that goes, you could blow 3 dimes in 6 minutes.
Easy.
Done. Kaput.
Yep.
Shit. Bye-bye.
But you also can go to the airport and walk into the worst odds on the planet and spin and win $1 million on your way out the door.
That's happened too. Cancel my flight. I'm staying.
I'm not going anywhere. I just won $1 million on my way out. I won $1 million.
Rhino. I'm getting that private champagne room.
I mean,
God.
Oh, sorry. So I think I overestimated his number of followers. Sorry, he's 250,000. It's Vegas Matt on Instagram. I think I think he's bigger on TikTok actually. But you can go look at all he does is walk around and play high stakes slots.
What a gig.
Yeah. Matt Morrow, his name is.
That's tremendous.
So now he's doing things with El Cortez now, trying to get stuff in there. He's a quote influencer.
Oh yeah.
So
are we influencers yet?
I don't know. I don't like that term personally. I
mean,
prefer
those influencers get bags though.
So I'm going to Madeline School tomorrow, and they needed to know what my title is. It's career day.
What did you put?
I told them I have 3 jobs. I said, what do you want me to talk about? I said, I could talk about that I do stuff on TV.
Right.
I do stuff on audio, and I
Yep.
teach. Which one? And she said, all 3. What would encompass all 3? I said,
Perfect.
content creator. Just call me a content creator.
Oh, is that what you're going to put on the tax
Yes,
return?
it's easy. I don't know what I'm
Oh.
putting on the tax return. My accountant handles all that, what to call myself. But, that's what I called myself for class. I just create content. That's it. How, where, why, TV, audio, radio, social. It's all content, right?
All content.
Yeah, but we're all replaceable, right? We're all just, take us out whenever you want, right?
That's it.
Rinse and repeat. Just,
Just put somebody else on.
it's like a tire.
Fully time.
Just go ahead and put a tire on.
Yeah. Just hey, right. I heard a radio ad today driving home. Buy 3 tires, get 1 free. It's not free. I need all 4. It's
True.
not free.
You're jacking the price of the other ones to get the pay for the 4th one.
Exactly. Like I heard, I was yelling at the radio myself in my car. I'm like, this is bullshit. Same thing with us. Just get a new tire. Oh, this tire's flat. Put somebody else on there. What do? I talk.
I have a
on
joke
TV
I will
about
not make.
sports.
I will joke I will not make on that. So not doing
Flat
that.
tire.
Things aren't always flat in our world. They tend to get pumped up,
Pumped up.
inflated.
Wow.
Things can get inflated. Naturally and unnaturally inflated.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
Never forget what my
rhymes
wife's
with
cousin.
bolt-ons.
I asked my wife's cousin. I didn't know. Right, we were at their house and stuff.
We doing the meat curtains again?
No. I asked him, "What are you doing now? What are you selling?" He said, "Penis pumps."
Oh no.
I said, "A what? You're selling a what?" He said, "Yeah, it's a penis pump." Who knew? I didn't even know these things existed. You talking about blowing things up? It blows right up. I didn't know. It was unbelievable. I said, "Is there a market for this?" Apparently there is. Who knew? I said, Jake, what's the pitch?
Yeah. It's do you do live demos?
How do you do? You do?
No, you don't.
You do.
Oh no.
You go to the joints and do it. You do.
Oh no.
I said, this is unbelievable. This is crazy. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Just saying. And then a year later, I'm in work at the M and I go to the bathroom to take a leak and they got the screens over the urinals.
Right. Yeah.
And there's a commercial for my wife's cousin's company penis pump thing.
How brilliant is that?
I stopped literally in midstream. And then I was like, oh, quick. Took my phone out, took a picture, and I sent it to Jake. I said, "You're advertising in the book in the casino in the bathroom next to the book." And he's like, "There's probably a lot of old men that hang out at the book, right?" I said, "Oh,
Smart.
yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant marketing. Brilliant place to talk about, a captive audience.
Well, guess who I'm talking to about doing a pump you up segment here on the BVB? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Brilliant marketing.
Oh boy.
Yeah. We're pumping it up today.
Man,
Fire the fuck up.
Oh, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That would be an interesting
Title shots for everybody.
Okay. On that note, we're moving on.
Get them credentials either, by the way. I'm never gonna let us
We're moving on. You're wearing the Kings gear. The Lakers got worked last night by Sacramento. The books did put ultimately the line flipped for Sacktown to go. Speaking of, right into
What?
we're talking about what? And I just said Sacktown.
Sacktown.
So, okay. Yes, they did close as favorites, and then they went off and killed the Lakers. 4 in a row for the Kings, right? We're 5 in a row. For the
Yeah,
Kings.
this is going to be one of those things. And I was on the phone this morning with another guy you're familiar with, formerly of ESPN, Doug Kazarian, and we were talking about stuff that happened last night. He said, These Lakers are not priced right. I said, yeah, I know. This is going to be one of those things. The Lakers are going to destroy bad teams like Memphis, like they did the night before, and they're going to lose the good teams. But the books aren't going to adjust. So we'll pay attention here on the BVB. And then, in a week or two after Thanksgiving, when the college football dies down and we really get into the NBA, I'm sure content providers and other shows and things like that will be talking about how the Lakers are mispriced in the market. And it's going to be one of those things. Did you watch the game?
I watched parts of it. I was at the gym while I was on, so I was watching it while I was working out. But yes, I was.
Were you hitting the bag? What were you doing at the gym?
No, I was lifting last night. Last night was a lift night. It was not a bag. It was not a bag run bag tonight.
Oh, nice. All right. That's good. The program starts for me. I came back from the sleep. I had the sleep study test consult today.
Oh.
So I got
good?
Wasn't. I mean, it's okay, but it's like the answer is this. I got a goal by the end of the year. I got to be at a certain number.
Okay.
And if I get to that number
by the end of the year,
I got 6 weeks. It's a 6-week camp right now. That's the way I'm treating it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not fucking around. That's
okay.
It's over. So
all right. Good.
Might be.
Well, tell me what you need.
Meet your guy at the boxing gym and say, I'll be here every morning. You tell me what to do. It might get to that result. We'll see. Yeah, we're not pissing around no more.
Well, Rocky's there every day.
I want to make it at least another 30.
Amen to that. That's my favorite thing about today.
It's a long-term decision.
It's my favorite thing about today.
Yeah, we're going to figure it out. Linehan said 3:30, 12:30 our time. Absolutely.
Beautiful.
That will work.
That works.
Yes.
That's perfect.
All right, I'll send him a text right now.
Lakers
Sacramento looked younger,
Yep.
faster, way more confident, had multiple options. The Lakers looked old, looked slow, and looked like if LeBron ain't going to do it, and LeBron did do it. I mean, he got a triple-double, and they weren't even in the game.
They were in the third quarter, but then once the fourth started, it just turned into a rout. I mean, it was a rout most of the game anyway, and it looked like there may have been like, oh my gosh, are they going to blow it? And then they just said, no, we're not going to blow this game, and they won going away in the fourth quarter. And the thing about the Kings, which I really, really like, is that I think they have so many different ways of playing. Like they can beat you shooting threes. They can beat you on the inside. They can beat you up tempo. They can beat you in the half court. I said it going in. I'm really a big fan of Mike Brown, and I'm really a big fan of this team. I think they're going to be a problem for, maybe they're 1 year too early because they finally made the playoffs last year. They lost the first round. They haven't won a first round playoff series since 2004. So they got to learn how to get through the postseason, but I think you can see it. You're watching the development of the team and you're going, okay, they can beat teams when they're on. They can hang with almost anybody. Now, the Nuggets are going to be a problem because they don't have really any interior rim protection. So Jokic should kill them. But everyone else, they're going to be a lot of fun to watch.
They are going to be a lot of fun to watch.
They're going to be over teams. They're going to be, the
Lakers. Oh. I said to Doug today, I'll say it to you and the rest of the brigade here on the air. Well, you know what? Here's another question right now. Ask the people the question. Are the Lakers over 500 or under 500 on the season right now? If you had to pick that they get 43 wins or 41 or less, because 42 and 42, or no, 41 and 41 is 500. Play 82 games. So over 41 wins, under 41 wins. Finish over 500 or under 500. I'm going to say under. I just voted. If you're watching the show live, go on that little blue box. It looks gorgeous on the chat.
It does.
This is great. And I can keep track of it. It don't even get in the way. It sits up right at the top. Oh, this is amazing. We're getting this shit together. It's all coming together, Pepper. It's all coming together.
At some point, I'll try to figure out how I can put it on the screen.
Oh, boy. One thing at a time.
Well, here's what I know what I can do. I can put the results on the screen. I can't do it live, but I can take a screenshot of it and put the screenshot on the screen. So we can see the results once we are done with it.
Ooh.
That's cool.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I'll do that. Wow, 50-50 so far through the first 24 votes, though. So,
Well, I mean, there's people saying already they're going to make a trade. They're going to go to Chicago, and Chicago apparently is going to clean house. So they're going to go get the best asset that Chicago has, Zach LaVine. Maybe, I don't know.
what are the Lakers giving up for Zach LaVine?
Who knows?
What does Chicago want from the Lakers that makes them give up Zach LaVine? If they're going to clean house, they're going to get the best offer on the table. Lakers can't offer anything comparatively as to what other teams could offer.
I don't know.
They'll be competitive, I guess, but there's not much on that roster that you want. If you're going to talk about building blocks, their first round picks aren't great. Like,
right.
What do you want? Like, that's a big problem for anybody who, with the Lakers trying to make a trade of that type, they can get beat by so many different franchises who have more assets and better options.
Right.
Draymond Green got suspended for 5 games while the other guys involved in the fight got fined. Fair?
I mean, is it?
Yeah, 5 games.
Probably.
It's going to cost him $750,000.
Yeah.
It's going to cost Draymond a lot of money. These guys got fined $25,000. He got fined almost $1 million.
It's one of those things that you're fined for past transgressions, right? You're penalized for past transgressions.
He has a history of aggressive behavior on the court.
Yeah. Is that a rear naked chokehold? Is that what that was? Like,
correct.
Is that what that? Okay, yeah, he got him pretty good. Learning all these UFC terms, hanging out with you.
Yep. Go ahead and lock it like that.
Right. He tried to lock him in.
He did. He did lock it on him. He did. I mean, look, I don't know if you guys have ever been in that. They have that happen. It's no fun. It is when somebody puts that on you, it's no fun.
No, when that happens, that's like fight or flight. When 100%. Somebody grabs you like that, it's like that only happened really one time in a skirmish with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the times that the switch went off and they had to pull me away from people because I went in that like, yeah, somebody's going down. Everybody's going down. I'm taking everybody out. But it's not surprising. Is this going to hurt Golden State?
Yes.
For a couple games?
No Steph. They're down 2 starters. They've lost 4 in a row. They're down 2 starters.
They play tonight too, don't
they? Do. They're in trouble tonight.
What are they playing? OKC -3.
Another
that
CLV
going over.
Another CLV for me.
Another game going over. There's no question about that. Would you take OKC last night?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. This will be one of those ones that, when we get to it, we'll put in the vote. But this looks way too easy at OKC -3.
Every bet I made tonight has that exact same feel. I just went, it might be too easy, but I'm betting it just because. Like, it can, sometimes it can be this easy. So I made 3 bets. Maybe I go 2-1. That it just looks too easy. The same thing with the Blues on the puck line. I mean, the books gave me plus 145. I mean, like, is it that easy? I don't know. There's the numbers would indicate it's not, but I can't not bet that. Like, I can't not bet against the Sharks when they're awful. They lose in the puck line all the time. And you could say, well, they're up 3-2 against Florida in the 3rd period in the last game. They've played better at home. Yeah. And they fell apart and they gave up 3 goals and they lost in the puck line. So until that stops from happening, I'm going to keep on betting it.
Stevie Mack said he took OKC -2 this morning.
Good.
It's going up. I mean, it's painted 3 now, pretty much everywhere.
I got 2.5. That's good. I got 2. It's a good number.
AOWN, another guy, big part of the chat, came in and said, Draymond's the dude you want on your team, but you hate him if he plays for anyone else.
That's fair.
That's a pretty good description. You need that guy on your team. He drives you crazy and he does stuff that's going to hurt you because he's going to get kicked out or but I mean, he was the first guy to go in there and rip a guy off another guy and try to take down a guy. I mean, I don't know. I played with a guy like that. actually brothers. They were like the Hanson brothers.
Mhm.
My high school team, we had the Danner brothers, Mark and Matt Danner. And Matt was the kid that could score at a rocket slap shot. He stayed away from a lot of the trouble. His brother Mark was the third line center who, when somebody needed a message delivered, he delivered it. And you needed guys like that. You need, you know, and then his brother Matt, when he wasn't scoring, would light somebody the F up. I mean, they had their head down. He never missed a shot to take on that. And me and, Eugene were on the first line, and Matt played with us on the power play. We could do whatever we wanted. It was great. I mean, you need guys like Draymond.
Here is the results for the poll.
Look at this.
There's your poll results as to how many votes you have. So there you go.
So more unders than overs. Under.
Yep.
Wow. Look at you. This is what we need.
So
this is going to the moon.
There we go. So
effing show is going to the moon.
We can have poll results live. I can't do real-time poll results, but I can do after they're over. We can put the poll results on.
That's fine.
No Porzingis, no Jaylen Brown, no problem for Boston. They win, they cover, take care of business. Heck, Tatum didn't even play well in the fourth quarter. They were saying on the broadcast that's a big win for Boston, that was a needed win because you were down 2 starters. You already lost once to Philadelphia on the road. You had to prove that you could win in the building because they won't play again in Philadelphia until the playoffs. Do you agree with that? It's November.
Thank you. I was just going to say, check the calendar. I mean, it's another win on the schedule. It's another win on the schedule. I mean, it's a team that's
they're going to be a completely different team when they play in the summer. It's going to be a completely different roster, basically. Like, right? I don't know how a game in November is going to impact the playoffs in April. Like, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't really. Boston plays Philly in December, and then they don't play them again until the end of February.
Wow. No, that's not even after the trade deadline. I think the trade deadline's the 1st of March or something, right?
February 27th is the last time that they play.
Okay, it must be right before. Wow.
And that's it. Then they're done. They don't play again until the playoffs.
Wow. Yeah. So. Whitrock said the poll results pop up in the chat for all of us to see too. We know that.
Yes, but putting on the screen is for the replays.
The screen is for the replays for the people that don't know.
Yeah. On Twitter,
watch us live.
Sports Grid, YouTube, watch back. You guys, the live chat is if you watch the show back on YouTube, the chat will scroll. You can watch the chat interact.
Right.
But on Sports Grid, there is no live chat. So that's why we'll put it on the screen. So when we talk about the results of it, people can see it on Sports Grid. That's why we're doing that. And remember, this show, like on Fridays, this show runs on Friday night and Saturday night. So it runs twice. So that's why we'll put it up. I know you guys can see it who are in the chat, but we'll put it on screen for those people who are watching on the replay so they can see.
Chef Betty just came in and said, don't be a bum, hit the thumb. He's late because of work, but he did say Matt and Dave were right. Arizona first period under 2.5 got me in his same game parlay or whatever that was that he put together.
That dude they have in net is not good. The backup goaltender for the Ducks is not good.
No.
He was I had one of the craziest under bet cashing of my life last night.
Is this the Mac game?
Yes.
All right. I'll put my glasses on. I'm gonna listen. Actually, I'm gonna go close the blinds because I've got some weird cloud cover going on right now and it's affecting my eyes and lighting. So I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
So if you guys didn't see this play, the score is I bet under 39.5. We're currently sitting 23-10. So we're at 33 points. Buffalo had not had a play go for more than 16 yards, and that was on a fake punt that it went over 16 yards. Their offense did nothing the entire game. Their offense did absolutely zero. The last possession, they're down by 13 points. It's 23-10. I just need them 4 minutes to go. I just need them either run the clock out, punt, don't do anything stupid. They throw a bomb. They connect it on the 50. The kid runs from the 40 to the 1, untouched. He starts to put the football out, trying to extend it to get it over the end zone. And the safety comes in and whacks the football out.
Bam.
Ball goes tumbling into the end zone. Dude for Buffalo goes and jumps on the ball, and you think touchdown because it was a fumble, which ultimately would have brought the ball back to the 1 yard line because you can't advance a fumble, but would have had possession for Buffalo at the 1. So
Okay.
then they could have punched it in and they could have scored. A touchdown makes it 23-17. I lose. Kid's right foot was on the line. He grabs the football. It's a touchback. Turnover. Ball over to Miami.
And there's no more scoring.
Well, they got the ball back. They went 3 and out. They punted back to Buffalo. Buffalo first snap, sack, fumble, recovery. Miami, no more scoring. 23-10 final. Game over. Miami wins and covers. Game stays under.
So you had a good beat where it won you. Something happened good. It's not a bad beat.
It's not a bad beat. It's a win. It's one of the most
right.
craziest,
It's
luckiest. It's just I'm running well right now. Like this is. I went 2-2 on the juice last night. I should have had a losing night. I should have been 1-3. Like I had no business cashing the under. It saved my night. It's just, I always say this. Like when you lose games badly, you have to remember games like that because it does even out. You do lose games you're not supposed to.
Of course.
Like the Bruins game when the Bruins were up 3-1 and they gave up 2 goals in a minute and a half with 3 minutes to play and the game goes to overtime.
Right.
And I had the under, there's that. And then there's this that comes back. And I had no business losing the under for the Bruins game. I had no business winning the under for the Buffalo game. It all cycles of life.
You just want to be right on the right side of a miracle win or a lucky win one more time than the bad beat. That will usually be enough to cancel it out. But the bad beats are the ones you remember. I'm glad you told that story because a lot of people, just, I got lucky. And then they move on and they forget those. I mean, keep track of those too.
100%. You have to.
They cancel each other out.
Yeah. Look, I'll admit it. I remember the losses more than the wins. It's human nature because the losses hurt. The wins don't. So we learn more from the losses than we do from the victories. But you have to remember the victories that were not supposed to be victories because in gambling, the ball bounces a weird way for you sometimes, and it bounces a weird way not for you sometimes.
Right.
And you can't get angry. You just got to go, that's betting. That's just the way that it goes.
That's it.
If you bet a lot, that roller coaster is hard for people to handle. Yeah. So if you started listening to the Daily Juice on November the 1st, you think that I have a crystal ball. You think I have all the answers. If you listen to me starting from October 21st till Halloween, that 10-day stretch, you think I can't bet. I can't pick a game to save my life. I can't do anything. That is hard for people to understand.
Right.
Because I literally went, I think I went 3-13 or something like that at the end of October. And then I've turned around and I won 8 units last week. I'm up 6 units this week. Right. It's just, it's how it goes. Like that roller coaster, that up and down is so difficult for people to understand because look, we're trying to win 53%. So when you catch somebody, when you find them, when you listen to them, when you follow them or trail their bets, either you bet them all the time or bet none of them. That's my advice.
This is one of the things that I learned early on down in Curacao. And, some guys were working in books to get plays so they could bet them themselves. And the guy I worked for said that exact thing. He said, you can't pick and choose. You got to bet them all or bet none of them because you're going to pick and choose and you think you know and you don't know. And they could be giving you the fake plays. They could be giving you the real plays. And the best thing he said was, you already know how to do this. You don't got to worry about none of this. Let these other guys do this. And that was my mentality even when I got to Vegas. And everybody in Vegas, I worked with so many guys that would just run because there was no apps at the time when I started working here. They would run to the other book across the street or down the street to go play a play. And they'd come back like out of breath, but they got to play. And I'm like, What are you doing? Oh, I had to play. They're hot. I'm like, they are this week. Okay. But they got 6 other plays, right? They played it here because we got the best price. They got 6 plays across the street. What? Yeah. What'd you think? They just came in and played the Dodgers here. They got the Giants over there. They got the Padres over there. They got the Pirates down the street. Like, what are you doing? They're betting 6, 7, 8, 10 games a day. So you're right. I mean, again, that's another thing, like in the content space. Be very careful. It's very hard. We're trying to teach you how to do it so you can pick.
Right.
People
And
watch the show.
I mean,
That's it.
and this is the thing that I feel bad for people who are, that there are people in the content space that just put out their picks. They don't explain why they pit it. They just say, here are my 4 plays for today. They put out a 30-second video and they say, here are my plays. And then people will come at them and they rip them and they yell at them and they get mad at them and whatever. And it's like, you have to understand that like the roller coaster, you have to either track all of their plays and watch all of them, or like if someone goes 1 and 3 on a day, or they go 5 and 10 on a week, it doesn't really mean anything. Like it has no bearing over the big picture, because the big picture is what we're all trying to accomplish. So
Right.
as a consumer of the content, like I always tell people, take the information I'm giving you and then go do it yourself. Like go
Right.
play what you want. So then you're not angry at anybody else except yourself.
Right.
So if you think my logic is correct and you're following me, awesome. If you think I'm off my rocker and you go the other way, great. I
Right.
always say, don't be a dick about it. Just be like, hey man, I disagreed. Okay, that's great. That's the part of this is I have an opinion. You have an opinion. I get to
Yes.
make a bet. You make a bet. I was right. You were wrong, or vice versa.
Right.
And I get to go, good call, man. That was great. Nice job. Or you say to me, good pick, Matt. Yeah. And tomorrow I'm wrong. You're right. Like it's a give and take with this stuff, and it's gambling, and it's, nobody's going to, I always tell this, like people like, look if you're trying to get rich by betting on sports, by trailing people,
You better start rich.
it's never going to, or you're going to end up poor. Right. You better start rich and you're going to end up poor.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. This has to be for fun. This has to be an entertainment. It has to be something that you're doing because it is really fun. It's a game. It's a cat and mouse game at my level. All right. I'm not at the level. I'm not at a Billy Walters level. Okay. I'm not trying to shut people's lights out. I'm not trying to have a 9-figure score on somebody and destroy the world. It's not what I do. I would never claim that. That's not the gambler I am. But it's really fun to do the work every day and to find angles and find picks and plays, do the work that I do from 10 to 12 every night, basically. And you're involved in that half the time because I'm asking you, like, am I seeing this right? What the hell's going on with this number? Blah, blah, blah. And you're helping me figure things out. And then we go do this show. We talk about the plays on this show. And then I go watch the games and we get a result. Like that's what pissed me off so often in my talk radio world. I would argue points that can't be proven.
Right.
Like I could never get to the I'm right moment, right? Like there were occasionally once in a while where you'd say something like that coach is not going to work or that coach is going to be great.
Right.
And like you can take the victory lap 2 or 3 years after the fact because you've been proven correct in your opinion. It's too long. I want it right away. I want it now. OKC's winning by 3 points tonight over the Warriors. Matt, you're wrong. Okay, let's watch. In 3 hours, I got an answer.
Right.
I love that. That's awesome to me. That is such a fun part of what gambling is to me. And I've said this before, and it makes people angry, but the money's not the angle to me. I like it. I like that I'm rewarded financially for being correct, but I like being correct more.
I said this again years ago, and it still holds true. The game is about being right and wrong for most of us men. Idiots that we are. The money is just the measuring stick, the measuring tool. It doesn't matter the units. It doesn't. Some guys for $10 get the same Jones that some guy gets for $100 or a nickel or a dime. Now, there's groups and there's people that are doing this and treating it like a market. They are treating it like a financial thing. They're 2% of the people in the world, maybe 3%, that are literally trying to turn your lights out, carry you out, whatever it is you're doing. That's who the books are always thinking of when we're taking the bets. We have to be aware of that because otherwise we're not open. if we don't do the right thing. But at the same time, in the content space, doesn't matter. It's if you think like that with that mentality, I just like being right. I want to prove my point, and I want to get confirmation in 2 or 3 hours through sports that I love. It's pretty entertaining.
It's
amazing. It can be entertainment. It's awesome.
It's why I get pissed off when I see people who say, I'm a real gambler.
Yeah.
Here's what I bet. What do you bet? I bet a dime a game. What do you bet?
Here we go.
That pisses me off more than anything in the world.
Oh, boy.
Because it doesn't matter what you play, because it's your own business. I don't need to know what you bet. I don't want to know what you bet. I don't need to know a single thing. It's like it's between you and your clergyman, whatever, you and your God. I don't care what you bet. Good for you. If my audience is celebrating a $5 win, I'm pumped. If a guy goes 10 for 12 and he wins $1,000 on a night, that's great. You're not a better player because you bet more. It's not how this works. At least to me, it's not. Okay. It's like judging somebody on the car they drive. Like I drive a different car every single week. Sometimes I'm driving a $20,000 car. Yeah. Sometimes I'm driving a $150,000 car.
Right.
If you judge me on the car that I drove, you'd have no idea. But on a given week, you may look down on me and be like, nice ride, dude. And then I'm pulling up with a, Lexus convertible. It's
Lexus convertible turned the neighbors' heads over here when
it's $140,000, right?
Yeah, baby.
So don't judge people based upon their unit size. Don't base because Warren Buffett might bet $5 a game.
Right.
Because you just don't know what someone's really, it's what they're willing to commit.
Warren Buffett never played roulette.
I would guarantee no. If not for a little fun. It's just, it bothers me when people put up and go like, show me your tickets. What are you betting? How much are you playing? Good, man. I'm happy for you. That's awesome. That's great. That's great. Are you in debt? Like, do you have $10,000 in credit card debt? I don't know what your finances are just because you're playing this. You play $100 a game, $500 a game, whatever you think makes you a real gambler. It makes no difference to me whatsoever.
The amount doesn't matter.
Nope.
If you put up money on your opinion on anything, I mean, you buy a stock, you're putting your money up on your opinion. You buy a ticket on this, you're putting your money up on this opinion. You buy a trading card, a rookie card of something. You're buying it on your opinion. It's right, you're wrong. Like you said, I mean, you got to buy a card and wait 20 years for a guy to have a full career. Hope the cards are still worth something. What about all those people that bought those EFT things that were
NFT,
EFT, FU, whatever they are?
So they are now.
Like, it was the hottest thing going. I was like, what are you buying? An image on a phone? What the fuck
crypto?
Is that?
Yeah, crypto, man. Crypto.
That's a whole other thing. That's an actual blockchain, currency, blah, 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 blah. If you put your opinion up and you're willing to back it, you have to respect it no matter what the amount is. Guys are doing it. Gambler. How do you describe that? Sometimes you describe it as a jag-off. Other people, an advantage gambler. Very smart. You can be anything in between. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I like to learn from anyone and everyone. I don't care if you're a small gambler, high stakes gambler, if you're someone who plays blackjack, someone who plays roulette. I love just learning. I love listening. Just learning. Like, how did you do it? What did you see? What did I miss? What do you read? Who do you follow? What do you listen to? What do you watch?
Yeah.
You can learn from everybody.
Crunchy just said in the chat, one guy's $10 is another guy's $1,000.
Absolutely.
Used to adjust his bankroll every week. Now I just do the same all season long. I could bet more. Some years I would clean up. Other years it would be bad.
Flat wagering is something I have believed in for a very long time. Yeah. I've adjusted to it in the last 18 months.
Yeah.
I've been willing to lay the juice. I used to just put one number down on every play, no matter what the juice.
It's way better now what you're doing, right? With the juice.
Look at, I'm up 40 units from doing it the way.
But it just shows you, it's just, you need to do that. Like,
flat wagering is a good way, because I did it going in. I was very, not well experienced over the course of betting every day, but now I'm doing this for a third straight year, going on my fourth year of doing the juice of betting every single day. And now, yes, you have to lay the juice. You have to play it, because when you're hot, you lose. You leave way too much money on the table and you lose. You never make it up.
Right.
So if I'm laying 135 and I'm winning, if I put $100 down every time and it's 135, instead of laying laying $135 to win 100, right. I'm laying 100 to win 70.
70. Yep.
And I'm losing. And so that margin, you couldn't make it up. You just ended up I killed myself doing it. So I was like,
bad
okay,
streaks that you
ruins you. Yeah. And the hot streaks aren't as hot because of it. So it's playing defense too much. It's fighting with one hand tied behind your back. And so now what I'm doing is, also I've got the bankroll now, and I've got the units stored on the juice. I can be more aggressive. I can lay 135. I used to never lay that, or 140. Right. I can lay that now and feel comfortable doing that without having to really get, too crazy where I'm going to lose 6-7 units during a day. So it's
someone asked in the chat, by the way, before you continue. Sorry, the ads are popping up during the live feed. Yes. So just be aware of that for people new. People are finding the show and going, hey, is anyone else getting commercials during the show? Yes. That's a YouTube thing.
If it gets to be too aggressive, let us know. But we have it on the most conservative level for people, and not everyone sees it. So it's up to the YouTube algorithm as to who and what and when they're going to feed you the ads. So it's, we don't take commercial breaks, but YouTube inserts them.
Correct.
So just FYI.
Just be aware of that. Yeah.
Thursday night football tonight.
Yes.
Ravens laying 3.5 to the Bengals. Totals 46.5. So here's my question to you.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals just got lit up by the Texans defensively. Hubbard's not playing. Lamar is pissed off after what just happened with the Browns. The Bengals in trouble?
I mean, what if they don't win this game?
No, just tonight. Could they get run off the field tonight?
Well, if they can't stop the Ravens, yes.
I don't think they're stopping the Ravens tonight.
So they win a high-scoring game?
If the Bengals win this game, it's going way over. We're flying over 46.5.
I think it's going over, period. No?
Okay.
I don't know. I think the Bengals will have offensive success, but I don't know. What do you think? You think the Ravens score a lot too?
Mm-hmm. Bengals give up 22 points on average per game.
Right.
Gave up 30 to the Texans. And you've got a better quarterback. You've got a bigger weapon in Lamar than CJ Stroud.
Right.
This is a problem game for the Bengals to go on the road to face a pissed off Ravens team.
On a short week.
With Lamar. Like, Zay Flowers and him, they want to hit a couple big plays. They were really angry. They felt like they left a lot of plays on the field in their last game against the Browns. They should have hit. I think they'll try to hit those plays tonight.
Do the thing with the ask the question.
Okay.
Bengals plus 3.5. Ravens minus 3.5. That's pretty much the consensus line wherever you're shopping. See what the people say in the chat as they're piling in. So that's good. I'm leaning Baltimore. I'm having a purple kind of day today. A lot of purple in my life today. So I like the Ravens. And I don't say that usually easily because the Ravens
this is gonna be so fun. I mean, this is getting real-time information based upon where people are going to be tonight. I love this. This is awesome to watch this.
Right?
This is
the
really
line's
fun.
Perfect. I don't think we're going to get. I mean, this is going to vary between.
Look, 30 votes, 50-50. Like we're right there.
Right. I mean, it's just going to. It's the line's perfect from the books standpoint. This is perfect. I mean, we've got the proof evidence. 25-7 primetime games to the under, and I'll knock my head against the wall, and I'll say I like this game over because I like this game over.
Over. I don't like this game under at all. Again, Bengals defense is banged up. It's a short week. You have an offense for the Ravens that is angry about what just happened. They're going to put up points tonight. And I think the Bengals know they have to score it has to be a high scoring game, but no T. Higgins is significant to me for that offense. They're down one of their best receivers against a really, really good defense. The only way this goes under if it's like 30-7.
Oh, blowout.
Ravens rout, then it stays under.
I didn't look. Did you do the same game teaser with this one? Bengals and
No,
over?
I did team total Ravens.
Oh, okay. What was it? 24?
You can move it at DraftKings. You can pay heavy juice on 23.5, or you can go 24.5 and go minus 110, minus 105. I paid the juice.
And went over 23.5.
Mm-hmm.
Still got it. I didn't even think. I didn't even hesitate. I'm like, Dave, how do you make the number? 24?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
So the books are saying the number is 24 for the Ravens.
I mean, the
tonight.
final score is 24-20 or 24-21 or 20, right there. That's what the number tells you.
And it could be 31-17. Could be 31-20. Ravens can score 30 tonight. They really can.
It won't surprise me if the Bengals win this game. Will it surprise you?
Surprise me? Yeah, actually, yeah, it would surprise me if the Bengals win the game. Cover won't surprise me if they cover. Win the game, I'd be surprised. Yes. Ravens by 3? Absolutely. Everyone's quoting the number, I think it's 15-5 that Burrow is at a dog. ATS.
What is it?
15-5. Burrow as a dog is an unbelievable
that's
bet.
75%.
It's a really good bet. Burrow as a dog. Yes. I mean, Joe Burrow is in a lot of those games, there were dogs against divisional opponents. Ravens, Steelers.
Jimmy Jack just came in and chat and said the Ravens are not beating the Bengals by double digits. So what surprises you more? Ravens by more than like double digits, 10 or more, or the Bengals winning the game?
Double digits for the Ravens.
That surprises you more.
Yeah, because I don't, again, I think this is 31-27, somewhere 31-24.
Wow. Hell of an entertaining game on a Thursday night.
I mean, look, my only question, this is why I bet what I bet. My question is, I don't know what the Bengals offense will do against the Ravens defense. They just got the pick 6 is why they lost the game to the Browns, not the defense's fault. That's the offense's fault. So I'm like, the Bengals defense is really banged up. The Ravens defense is really good, and the Bengals are down one of their best receivers. Yes, they still have Jamar Chase. Yes, they still have Joe Burrow. Yes, they still have Joe Mixon. The line is somewhat healthy. So they should be able to move the ball, but what if they can't on a short week? That's why I took the Bengals out of the equation, because I think there's far more question marks as to whether or not the Bengals offense can move the ball on the Baltimore defense than what I think the Ravens offense can do at home against a banged up Bengals defense. So that's why I said, forget it. I'll just take the team total. Let's cross off having to worry about the Bengals offense and just take the Ravens.
Justin Simpson, welcome to the show, sir. He came in the chat and said, I hate that divisional matchups are on Thursday night.
Amen to that.
Fair point. I mean, this
Great
is a big game.
This game should be on Sunday night. This game should not be on Thursday night.
Yeah, this is a big game. Joe the Fat Panda. Anytime Joe the Fat Panda comes in the chat, I just have to say it because I love saying Joe the Fat Panda. But welcome, Joe. He came in with a good one, though, here. Bengals would be 0-3 in a division with an L tonight. That's a desperation spot in the toughest division. That puts them, I mean, they're not winning no tiebreakers, right? 3-3 in a division is the best they can be.
Bengals, Bills both could miss the playoffs.
Wow.
Think about that.
KD Dow, she's in here watching the show. I love it. She's a big Ravens fan. I know she voted Ravens. She said Lamar's 7-2 versus the Bengals in his career.
They're putting up points tonight. They're scoring tonight. Ravens are scoring in my mind. We'll see what the rest of the game looks like, but I think we're in for. I think this will be the best Thursday night game of the week.
Thursday night game of the week?
Season, excuse me, of the season.
All right, what are you talking about?
Sorry. Best Thursday night game of the season will be tonight so far.
It doesn't really have a high bar.
Does not.
It better damn well be the best Thursday night game of the season. Bengals, Ravens, 46 for the total. Let's see some points tonight, please.
Your Cleveland Browns are against your Pittsburgh Steelers.
They're not my Cleveland Browns.
You're
Don't
wearing
put
the
that-
gear
don't-
yesterday.
Don't put that in my mouth.
You were
do
wearing
that.
it yesterday. You can wear the gear.
I wear it on Friday.
You won't wear a Ravens hat, but you wear a Browns hat. So they are your Cleveland Browns.
I debated today because I got that one Ravens hat and it would match perfectly with all this, but I said I can't do it. I won't do it.
You'll wear Brown stuff, but you won't wear Raven stuff. Your
want to.
Cleveland Browns are taking on your Pittsburgh Steelers. This is an Iowa game. Look at the damn total.
33.
33. What are we doing? 33.
I thought you made a mistake.
30.
You said that in the rundown. I was like, oh, he must have been looking at something else. I'm like, nope, he saw it. That was right. Linehan said he'll be jumping in quickly here. This is good.
Okay. 33.
33
is
33
absolutely ridiculous.
It is utterly ridiculous.
There is no need for that. By the way, this is our poll total is Bengals.
Oh, dog got 146 votes.
54-45.
Wow.
Bengals are the side to the Brigade tonight. So in case you want to follow the Brigade pick, they like the points.
All right.
They're taking the points.
Io, Dave. Io, Percy.
Iowa. This is a great question. Who scores more points? Iowa, Illinois, or Cleveland, Pittsburgh? If I was running a book, that is a line I would put up.
If I see that up anywhere on some fucking boost, I'm telling you all right now. I'm telling y'all, you better call it the BVB boost.
That is
Who
what I would
scores more.
Which game has a higher total at the end? Iowa, Illinois, or Cleveland, Pittsburgh?
Oh,
I would 100% be taking bets on that. And I would probably put the Iowa game as a slight favorite.
But the total's lower.
Not much. 31,
31, and this is
33. So I think the Iowa game has more points scored in it than I think the Iowa game is going to go over. Cooper DeJean not being there for Iowa is huge. That's not going to be the same Iowa defense. We're getting points.
Well, we get triple digits of people in here, and when I look down and see that we got over 100 watching it right now live, we're going to put that up and ask that question. Should we save that for tomorrow?
I'll save that for tomorrow. Yeah, let's say because let's let the numbers settle a little bit more, and so we'll have an actual good representation of what the actual number will be. But because Iowa, I think the Iowa game, Cooper DeJean being out for Iowa is going to cause that total to rise. Like he's the best player on Iowa. He's not playing against Illinois, and Illinois can score.
They're going to score against Iowa's defense on the road?
Illinois, yes. I think they will. Yeah. I think Illinois will score on them. And I think Iowa will score. Iowa's going to score 20 points. So Illinois' defense is horrible. So I think Iowa scores.
Man. I don't know. I think I'd vote for a Steeler game, have more points. That's great. That's a great boost. I would be like this would be me sitting in the room.
Yep.
And it's a Thursday afternoon, and we're like looking for something to do or talk about, and you throw that out there, that immediately goes, what do you make it? What do you make it? Let's go. Put this thing up right now. Call the marketing guy. Tell him that, oh, wait, the marketing guy's playing golf? Oh, sorry. Call the other marketing guy. Oh, they're playing tennis. Oh, fuck both of those guys then. Tell somebody on Twitter. We call everyone we know. Put this out at the book. Get this shit up. That's a great thing. That's a BVB. That's our first BVB boost. I love it.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's talk about what's going on here. We started the show with this, and the Mass Gaming Commission had to have their hearing and get everything to go here as to what happened with this same game situation involving DraftKings and Massachusetts. Robert Linehan is a reporter. He has been covering this for us. He is joining us for the first time here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Robert, Matt, and Dave, how are you? Thank you for coming on in.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Can you hear me okay?
Oh,
you sound phenomenal.
Fabulous.
You sound great. That beard is amazing. I mean, I don't see that beard on your Twitter handle at @rlinehanxl, but that looks amazing.
It's an old picture. That picture is about 15 years old on Twitter.
This is what people do. Robert, update the picture. What the hell are you doing?
That picture is a headshot from about 3 jobs ago.
Oh.
So yeah, maybe I'll spring for maybe I'll ask my wife to get me some professional headshots for Christmas.
Well, listen, after this show and the replay and everything else, you're going to get this big boom. So that hopefully that'll help towards the headshots.
Get the BVB bump, as
bounce.
they call it.
Or the BVB bounce.
BVB bounce.
Oh, I
We're
like
going to
it.
put that. We'll credit Linehan for that one. Listen, sir, you sent that tweet, and listen, I got to be perfectly honest. Full disclosure, we've never met before, but I found you on Twitter, and I'm so glad that I did, because you're doing God's work by listening to these gaming hearings that I know are just mind-numbing sometimes. They drag on sometimes, and I say nobody knows shit all the time, and these things are evidence of it clearly. But you got on today and said this thing and Mass and DraftKings. Can you explain what the hell is going on, or what happened in this? DraftKings put out odds, people bet it, it cost them over $500,000, and then boom, there's a hearing to explain what.
Sure. Well, yeah, the meeting did start today at 9:30 in the morning, and then it wrapped up. I think it might even still be going on, but the part that I was interested in wrapped up at 3. So that's a nice 5.5 hour meeting there for you guys to chew on a little bit.
Yikes.
But I should point out that this is not something that was just exclusive to Massachusetts. This is an issue that is in a number of other states, where basically DraftKings took same game parlays. They advertised incorrect odds, over under odds for same game parlays on the October 24th Lakers Nuggets game. So what happened was they advertised or they had posted odds. They had posted odds, over under odds for the game, but what they posted as full game over unders were actually supposed to be posted as first quarter over unders. So, for instance, LeBron, his under the same game parlay market for that game, his over unders were like 8. It was like 8.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists.
Oh my goodness.
Word got around on social media. People started betting it and parlaying it and it wasn't just LeBron. This was for pretty much every single posted market in that game. They were live for 13 minutes. Okay. Just in Massachusetts, there were 178 bets. The total handle for the bets were $4,800 or $4,100. But DraftKings is on the hook, and this is just in Massachusetts. This happened all over the country. Just in Massachusetts, DraftKings is on the hook for more than $575,000 in winnings for basically what they're saying is an obvious error. So that's where this whole thing comes in. Because DraftKings is saying, look, this was too good to be true. It was an obvious error. We would never post, these lines, these over unders for a full game in our wildest dreams. Like this got lost in translation with their third party vendor that sets up their same game parlay stuff. Mm-hmm. So look, it's an obvious error. This should be voided. Like, we'll gladly refund everyone their money on these bets. But it's not as cut and dry as that. There was not a conclusion to what happened today. The Massachusetts Gaming Commission needs more time and more information to see if the bets will be voided. So it wasn't just as simple as, hey,
have the people already paid, Robert?
No, everything is pending right now in Massachusetts. And I should stress that in other states, a lot, and I don't have all the information on this because DraftKings did not make it public at the Massachusetts Gaming Commission meeting. A lot of other states have already voided the bet. They've already said, look, it was obviously an error. Like, thank your lucky star. You guys almost got all this money, but you know what? You didn't get it off of a correctly marketed bet.
Yeah.
So, so long. Massachusetts is taking a little bit of time with this. We'll see what happens. I think they're going to meet again on November 20th. So we'll see how they vote. But, they talked about it for an hour today. There wasn't a conclusion. So DraftKings is going to have to sweat it out a little bit longer.
Robert, just to pause real quick. We will get to the breaking news story that the Brigade's talking about. Guys, hold on. Yes, interesting, huge story. Michigan and Jim Harbaugh they've accepted the suspension. No hearing Friday. Harbaugh will miss 3 games. He will miss the game this weekend, the Ohio State game, and the Big Ten championship game. He is out for, I guess he just missed that game. So I wonder if
he
this
missed the Penn State game. That was the first one.
But that wasn't a suspension though. So is it retroactive or not? Like when
we'll
does it kick in?
So just with Robert.
Yeah, everyone's getting crazy with that. So I wanted to just update people with that.
Well, I heard DraftKings had the over under set at 3.5 games for his suspension. So if you guys bet the under, you have it. So there you go.
But along those lines, what is it just because Mass is saying we want to hear more, or are they trying to get a precedent being put down so other commissions will follow in case they're thinking about potentially paying out this same game parlay?
That's a good question. I think basically they just need more information. They mentioned 3 areas where they need more information. They need to know if there's an indemnity clause between DraftKings and their third-party vendor, meaning, is there some almost insurance policy where if something happens like this, someone's going to get paid out for the mistake. Number 2, they need to know what other states have done regarding this. DraftKings didn't want to make that public. They wanted to talk about that behind closed doors.
So regarding that, is it possible that DraftKings could pay out in one state and not pay out in another state?
Yeah, I mean, look, yes, because if Massachusetts decides not to void the bets, then DraftKings is going to be on the hook for the $575,000. And we know from the meeting today, the DraftKings representative said that other states have already voided that bet. So yeah, if the gaming commission votes not to void the bets, yeah, then they'll be on the hook for the $575,000.
Wow. What was the third point you were going to make? You said the 3 things.
The third point, and in fact, I'm blank. Sorry, guys. This entire week has been just nuts with ESPN bet launching, and the other point was one of the commissioners wants to know that if have any customers that took that bet, did any of them reach out to DraftKings like through their help through social media? Complained about it, and were they rewarded anything? Like did DraftKings say like, hey, look, sorry that this is pending, here's $40 in free
$100 in bets?
Yeah, exactly. So she wants this gaming commissioner wants to know if anything like that was paid out to certain customers, but not all customers.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's that was Commissioner Eileen O'Brien. She's on the ball when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we stand right now. They still need more information. This is my opinion, and this is just sort of what I saw today, but my gut is telling me that they are going to void the bets. I think two out of the 5 commissioners basically came out and said that they'd be comfortable with voiding the bet. A third commissioner seemed like she was on the fence, but was leaning more towards voiding the bets. And then 2 others were the ones that said, look, we need more time. We need more information. Let's roll this over until the next meeting.
In terms of the industry, and as this goes on, because we talked about it here in Nevada, because in Nevada, the ticket goes as is written. Do you think more states are going to look to Nevada to potentially copy that, or are we going to see more hearings like this when it comes to third-party vendors and other issues where it's not the book's fault, it's somebody else's fault, and it's a $500,000 hook because of it?
I think you're going to see more hearings just simply because, look, and let's be honest. I mean, it was an obvious error. One of the things that DraftKings said was if you went to that game on the 24th, if you clicked out of the same game parlay option and just went to like the full game over under markets. All of the correct markets were listed for that game. So there was a big discretion between what was listed on the same game parlay markets and the full game markets. So they're saying, look, that's evidence right there that someone made a huge mistake, that it was an obvious error, that these didn't match up. And, you know, well, I mean, they did see it, but they didn't see it for 13 minutes and 178 bets were placed on it. So I think you're going to see operators, you know, I think you're going to see them going the hearing route. I don't think they want to pay out for these obvious errors. But then again, if it starts to become, if you get a lot of these high profile cases where, you know, they are on the hook for $500,000 and it keeps happening, you know, some of these regulators, some of these commissioners are going to start saying, well, okay, this is an obvious error, but why aren't you learning anything from this? Why is this still happening?
That was what I was going to say. As the book, you're taking odds from the third-party provider. Mm-hmm. You still have to check the odds before you turn them on and go out. And you need more than one set of eyes to check them. Now, had LeBron twisted his ankle 2 minutes into the game and he went under 8.5 points for the game and under 4.5 assists for the game, would they have given the money back and said, hey guys, guess what? We had some, we saw you take your shot, but we understand that it was an obvious error and we want to give you your money back. Like, but be forewarned, if you do that ever again, you're out. What?
That's the big question, isn't it? And that's what I've been seeing on social media almost all day regarding this story. Users saying, hey, look, if I accidentally click a wrong team, you know, if I have some guy, and I'm assuming he's a guy, some guy on Twitter said, you know, I've got fat fingers. Like, I've clicked on wrong bets before and not noticed it when I cashed out. And books typically say, sorry, kick rocks. Like, we're not refunding you for this.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So, you know, that therein lies sort of the rub in all of this. Like, okay, the books say, hey, look, this is an obvious error. We shouldn't be held responsible for this. But is that same courtesy extended to your customers when they're saying, look, I made an error? You know, I don't, you know, just, can we void this bet or can I have my money back? You know, it's an interesting conundrum as we move down the line here.
Excellent. You just shot up the list of guests. If you use the word conundrum on the show, you shoot right back to the ask back. That elevates the level. When were the bets voided? Because that's always the thing that's been the case with a situation like this in the book. We put up an obvious number that's wrong. You guys come in and bet it. The game hasn't even started yet. I email you, text you, and if you come back to the counter, tell you your bet's voided. It was a mistake. I'm warning you, next time, come in and tell me that it's wrong, and we'll write you a comp for steak dinner. You took your shot, and now you go, okay, but at least we're all on level ground. I don't wait until the game's final, grade it, and go, this cost us $575,000. Find out why. Oh, we had an obvious error. I think it's important, is it not, to know when the bets were voided?
I think and just to be clear, nothing's been voided yet. Everything is still in pending status, they said. So nothing has been voided. Wow. But they obviously, like I said, the markets were open for 13 minutes before they caught the error and closed it down. I don't think, and then I just believe you know, and I don't have the information for this, but I'm assuming that for those 178 bets, they were immediately placed in pending status. You know, the game, I don't even think the game had started yet. Well, obviously the game hadn't started yet if the bets were taken. So, you know, I think they were just immediately placed in pending mode, at least in Massachusetts, until the hearing could commence. Because Massachusetts, and I should make this clear, in other states, they may not have the same regulations as Massachusetts. Massachusetts clearly states, their gaming regulations state that operators can't void bets before they have a hearing with the Massachusetts Gaming Commission. Other states may not have those types of regulations. They might not require a hearing. So, like I said, DraftKings has already voided some of the bets in other states. But in Massachusetts, where they have these, stricter regulations, they have to go through this regulatory process first.
Robert, for the folks who want to follow this as we get further down the line and get the hearing coming back with a ruling, where can they follow your stuff? Where can they read your stuff on this?
Yeah, I'm always on Twitter. There's my handle there at rlinehanxl. I write most of my sports betting content for Sports Betting Dime. And then, I'll throw in the occasional daily fantasy sports regulatory story on Saturday Down South, SDS.com. So
Eagles on Monday or what?
I've been talking myself into a win all week. All week long. When I saw this game on the schedule first, I was like, I can't see it. But what the Chiefs have a great defense, but this might be the worst offense they've had in the Kelsey, Mahomes, Reed era. Outside of Kelsey, who's catching the ball on this team?
Fair point.
Does Rashee Rice scare you? Does Kadarius Toney put fear into your heart? No. I've been talking myself into a win all week. 4-1 over the next 5 games, 3-2 at worst. That's what I'm saying.
Robert, thank you for the time. We appreciate
you, sir. We'll be in touch.
We'll do it again soon, all right?
Yeah, Dave, Matt, thanks again, guys. It was nice that we could finally hook up and find a time to talk with each other.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Robert Linehan joining us here on the Bostonian versus the book. Let me do some quick little accounting things to get us all kind of squared away on this. Good stuff with that. We'll watch and see how that all plays out. While we were talking with Robert, thanks, Robert. Appreciate you coming on. That was awesome.
Thank you.
To have him on. That was really great to get him on. Okay, so this breaks while we're talking to Robert. This comes out. Jim Harbaugh has accepted a 3-game suspension, and there'll be no hearing tomorrow. He will not speak on his own behalf. This is being ruled as a win-win-win, that the Big Ten gets to uphold their, quote, standards, that Michigan does not have to deal with this story anymore in the discovery process of going to court, and the lawyers get a lot of money for going ahead and putting together all the litigation for all of this. I'm still waiting to see if the Penn State game counted. If the Penn State game counted, then he'll coach in the Big Ten title game, but he will not coach in the Ohio State game. So let me bring you guys up to speed on something real quick before we move off of this. Last night, where was that show from that you sent me?
I haven't even looked at it yet.
Okay. There's a show that you said there's video of where the investigation began into this. And according to this show, the investigation began with U.S. Integrity. Now, U.S. Integrity is a Las Vegas-based company that is there to watch betting lines. They're the ones who allegedly threw up the red flag as to what was going on with Michigan games. Now,
with the sign stealing?
Correct.
Oh.
Okay. So, as this comes out last night,
how can this be?
Michigan very well may have buried this story and accepted the suspension. So they did not have to go down this hole of finding out whether or not people at Michigan were betting on Michigan games.
Oh, jeez.
So the origin of this sign stealing scandal came from a watchdog sports betting site, sports betting company.
We have confirmation of that, or they're taking claim for that?
They put an actual report up on the screen that states U.S. Integrity reported to the Big Ten. This is what they're finding about Michigan and what is going on with some interesting betting going on at Michigan. So this is, in the ether. It's out there at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Harbaugh say, I'm going to speak on my own behalf? I did not do anything wrong. A lawyer may have tapped him on the shoulder and said,
hold on 20 seconds.
We're not talking. You're not doing anything of the sort. Well, why? Because guys in your staff were using the information. They were placing bets and they were betting on your games.
Well, anybody could have boosters. Who knows?
Yeah. So we're not going to go down that road. We don't want this conversation anymore. Michigan's a legal gambling state. We don't want to play around in these waters. Take the suspension. Just do it. Quiet. Bite the bullet. So there's an onion here that somebody does not want peeled back. Because it sounds like in that hearing, the case would have been presented and there could have been evidence that would, from U.S. Integrity, that they could have presented to the court to state why they decided to suspend Jim Harbaugh and why he was suspended for 3 games.
Wow. I got to watch this video.
Does this make any difference to you from a betting line perspective with him not on the sidelines? They have won every game so far. He has not been on the sidelines.
Yeah, I don't think so. People will bet it. People will take the dog. They did with Penn State.
If Ryan Day loses to Michigan without Harbaugh on the sidelines,
is he fired?
I don't know. There's going to be a lot of really angry Buckeye. They're already furious that they can't beat Michigan. If Harbaugh's assistant coaches beat Ryan Day.
Whew. Man, oh man, that's going to be such an intense week leading up to it and game and everything else. Wow. I don't know. I gotta.
He can remember just to know what the ban is. He can coach the entire week. Yeah. He can coach right to kickoff. He just can't coach during the game. So, arguably, the point people have made all week about why the team played well at Penn State is because if you're a head coach, you're in every meeting, you're in every game plan, you're in every conversation about personnel, you're in every situation where you're building the game plan as to what we're doing in what situation.
Right.
The guys who call the plays during the game are the OC and the DC. The head coach is just the CEO during the game. They do all the work during the week. During the game, it's do we go for it on 4th down once in a while? But there's not really a lot of coaching that goes on in game as a head coach.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, it's still important to be
there, be present. Yeah, be part of it. But it's not the end of the world, though. It's why they're 4-0 without him. Because they've been able to coach
without him because they played teams that they would have beaten with no coaching. They didn't need anybody on the sideline to beat those 4 teams they played.
Penn State's part of that conversation. It's Ohio State's best win.
You watch the game. They ran the ball every play in the second half. What coaches? I mean, come on. The first 3 games were against all the layups. That's why the suspension was. Can you imagine? He's going to go if they beat Ohio State, he's going to go to the Big Ten championship. They're going to house Iowa. He's going to go to the national championship playoff, having not coached in 6 of the games. I mean, you think they're going to let him show up at the Big Ten championship in Indianapolis and coach against Iowa after this? Is just show up?
Yes.
Wow. Hey, I'm here.
If the Penn State game counts.
Yeah. Oh, you froze with your eyes closed. Come back, Jack. Oh, that was a long freeze. Maybe out. Oh, he's back.
I'm back. There we go.
Okay.
What? I mean, my guess is it counts because I guess that was part of the settlement.
It better count. They
probably said, look, I'm sitting for the last 3 games. I'll take the suspension, Penn State, Maryland, Ohio State.
Right.
And then if we're in the Big Ten title game, I'm in the Big Ten title game. Can they make the playoffs with a loss to Ohio State?
What do you think? They ain't gonna let them anywhere near the playoff. With all this, what are they gonna do? Don't worry about it, Jim. Come on in. No chance. Everyone else has to win. I mean,
play it out. Alabama beats Georgia.
Alabama beats Georgia. They're in.
Okay. So
right?
Michigan's got one. So can you do Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Georgia?
No. Oregon with 1 loss? No, this is a way to get – you said it when it happened. This is a way to get him out. Get Michigan out. If we can't beat him on the field, now we'll beat him on the field and we'll make sure he ain't coming. Florida State, don't discount them losses. Don't discount that Miami win. Here we go. Florida State's in.
Fair. I want Michigan to win so badly against Ohio State now. Oh, my gosh, do I want them to win so badly.
Oh man,
This is going to be awesome. Just to watch the Ohio State meltdown if Michigan walks over Ohio State. They're at home, mind you. Okay, Michigan coaching. This is at home. This is a big deal. So Michigan's got home field this year against Ohio State. So to get that whole look at the guy that was coaching was crying. He was crying
emotional win
in the interview. He was crying.
He's excited.
Oh, over a team that you said was nothing. Imagine they beat Ohio. If they beat Ohio State, they cried for Penn State. What do they do after Ohio State? If they beat Ohio State without Jim Harbaugh,
probably cry again.
Bawling, everybody bawling. Go blue. I'm all in on Michigan. Let's go.
Get us out of here.
Sports Grid and Sirius XM. Thank you guys. Tomorrow, Roll Call Friday. Big show. Always a ton of fun. Hopefully you guys will be here. If not on replay, come in live on the YouTube or the Twitter at Boston versus the Book. Follow us on there for YouTube and Twitter. For you guys who are live with us, you guys do not move because you are getting what we call bonus time. One more quick breaking news story that's really kind of wild. Do you like sideline reporting?
I mean, you get occasional gems, but most of the time, I don't really find it like anything that I absolutely have to have. Why do you like it?
No. Well, what about the halftime interview?
Football?
Yes.
Hilarious. Completely hilarious.
Is it good? Is it worthwhile?
I mean, if it went away and we never saw another one, I don't think anyone would there wouldn't be a rise up of people going, "Where's our halftime interview?"
Yeah. So Carissa Thompson, on the latest episode of Part of My Take, sitting in with Barstool Sports, came out this morning, aired, I guess it taped yesterday. It aired this, it came out today.
Okay.
Admitted to making up conversations with coaches when the coach did not stop to talk to her.
Said it out loud.
Said it out loud. I watched it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, and now after I watched it, I was like, okay, it's not going to go anywhere. Nope. It's a damn wildfire. It is racing across the internet right now. And every woman, every sideline reporter guy, they're all going to social trying to defend their jobs. They're worried that their jobs are going to be cut because she said this. She says in the answer, I've said this before and I haven't been fired yet for saying it. So I'm going to say it again. If the coach won't talk to me, I have made up their answers in the past because I know the coach won't get mad at me for saying we have to be better on third down. We need more out of the running game. The defense has to play big in key spots. Because no coach would get mad at me for saying that and quoting them heading into the second half.
Wow.
I mean,
would you ever do that?
I mean, your credibility
pre and post game, and the guy wouldn't talk. Would you ever just say, "Well, he probably would say it," or "He said this"?
I would never attribute it to anybody. Like, you can't make it up. You can say, "I didn't talk to him, but I think they should do this." Okay. But you can't say, "Bill Belichick told me that in the second half he needs his defense to be stronger on third down."
Right.
When you didn't talk to Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about saying the quiet part out loud. You just basically said that the job is pointless. The interviews are meaningless and they're unnecessary. I love her. I love her.
Oh, me too. Always
Chris Thompson is phenomenal. Her and Aaron Andrews, their podcast together is awesome. Mm-hmm. She's in trouble. Like, she's on the air tonight. I guarantee you she will address it tonight in some apology.
You think?
Without a doubt. There's no debate. Her agent will make her do it. Somebody will make her do it.
Huh.
I mean, she just blew apart her credibility out the window.
Right.
Aaron Andrews, her best friend, that's her job. She just said, your job, I can make up what you're saying. You can make it up, and nobody will ever know because no one has ever known in the past that I can make up a conversation that never happened and say that it did.
Huh. Oh my.
No bueno right now in the
Right.
in the media industry. I mean, I follow a bunch of sideline reporters on X, Twitter, whatever, and they are all running to the platform to say, wait. This is horrific. This is not true. I would never do this. This is really sad.
I don't
Good.
know. Tell the truth.
Well,
Tell the truth. Live with the consequences.
I mean, on some level, I'm actually pretty impressed with her for doing that, right? On some level, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like saying the truth. Like, but they're pointless. The interviews have been pointless for a very long time. We don't learn anything. I don't need the halftime interview. I don't need any of that. Like, what's that? What's the point of that?
Told you I've been watching games on mute for 20 years in a book.
Right?
Except sound on one game.
Right? It don't really matter.
When I watch the games at home now with the sound on, and it's like it's whatever it is.
Right. The big baseball story today, the owners have greenlit unanimously the move for the A's from Oakland to Las Vegas.
Yep.
I saw your tweet.
Now.
You look, you're excited?
Yeah. What are they going to do for 3 years in between? 25, 26, 27. We're moving. They're going to be ready in 2028.
Yeah.
And
Did you see the social media? There already is a gigantic social media push to have no one there for opening day. A's fans are telling everybody, boycott opening day. No one go. Make them play in an empty ballpark.
So strange.
I mean, the joke is that different than what it normally is?
Right.
Like they're playing in front of 1,000 people anyway. So, oh no, there won't be 1,000 people there. Oh, well. Here's my question. Let's go and talk positively. Let's not be negative and shit on this. Let's actually say, well, let's talk about this fairly, or at least with rose-colored glasses. What can the A's do to make this work here in Las Vegas? What would you recommend? You know the baseball community. What would you recommend?
They should be doing everything in their power to play here right now. Somewhere.
Interesting. Okay.
Somewhere.
Even if the PA won't let them.
Crazy stuff happened with COVID and everything else. Toronto played a season in their minor league ballpark in Buffalo.
Yep. But they made a lot of improvements to it, and the weather wasn't a problem. They could make the adjustments to the Las Vegas ballpark.
Wasn't a problem in Buffalo in April and May?
No, you can play in the cold. They'd rather play in the cold than 115 degrees.
They're moving the team here.
Right.
I don't know. You cannot let them play in Oakland. Like this can't. I mean, how are you going to do this for 5 years? It's 2023.
Right.
24, 25, 26, 27.
We'll start in 20
years.
Yeah, 4 years. 4 seasons.
4 years are going to play where? What are you going to do? Go play in Puerto Rico for a year? I don't know.
Would you be okay if they played somewhere else, not in Vegas? If they moved and played in Reno, or they moved and played in
where's there a major league level ballpark that they could play out west?
I mean, they make the case that the Las Vegas ballpark is not major league ready.
Neither is the ballpark in Reno.
No, it's worse. But I'm just saying it's weather-wise. I'm talking about different weather opportunities.
I mean, should they play opposite the nights that they play in San Francisco and just play there?
Won't do it. I've already asked the question.
Right. They're not going to.
Giants won't let them.
Right. I don't know. It's such a. It feels like it's just being thrown together.
Well, it is, but it isn't. It's being thrown together, but it's 4 years from now. So they got 4 years. That's longer than the Knights.
You need to know the route. You know the end. They got a road at the beginning where they're at now, and they got a destination at the end, and there's zero path in between. Yes, we're moving there. It ain't going to be ready till 2028. They haven't even announced where they're putting a ballpark here yet. That's fine.
Correct. That's another problem.
Okay.
It's weird too, because there's some guy that I retweeted on X, Twitter, who says that the vote meant nothing today, that this was a formality. It's why it was unanimous, that it actually, that the Oakland A's have always known this vote was going to happen. And now that the vote has happened, the real work starts, meaning the litigation begins.
To
sue to keep the A's in Oakland. I I think that's pie in the sky type stuff, to be quite honest.
I have no idea. Huh.
I mean, I think
Wow.
once it gets to it, because in order to pull back, in order to not have them move now, you would need to have another vote and present evidence that would then change more than 2/3 of the owner's mind to have it be, or I guess 1/3 of the owner's mind to have them vote against it. But to get to that point is really hard.
Does anybody see what's going on in Vegas besides us? I mean, and people that watch the show.
No, people, because we're on the ground.
There's a race here that came here and basically tore up and inconvenienced every single person here to come here and do this race for 3 days.
But
they're having the Super Bowl a couple months later.
Right.
We have a professional hockey team here that won the Stanley Cup and was been nothing but success and trajectory up since the day they got here.
Mm-hmm.
Who in the hell of a baseball owner is not going to vote to have a team that's playing in an empty, decrepit ballpark get handed a city like this to move to?
You're absolutely right. No, there's no debate. But the point will be, say they sold the team. Say Oakland ponied up a ton of money to build the ballpark right there on the waterfront like they wanted to. There would have to be a change of situation, which right now there is no indication that's going to happen. I think people who are thinking the A's are staying in Oakland are high. I think they're all.
I think they want them to, but the Chargers left San Diego, and the Spanos didn't sell it. They found another place to play.
Yes,
they're going to do the same thing, and we're the place they're coming.
Right, and the value. If you're the A's and you look at the value, the Oakland Raiders were valued at $3.1 billion before they moved to Las Vegas. They're now valued at $6.3 billion. Okay. They doubled. Okay. It's the third most valuable franchise in the NFL behind the Dallas Cowboys and the New England Patriots. Okay. Mark Davis owns the third most valuable franchise in the NFL. Okay, so the A's are going, whoo, we can go there and suck because the Raiders have done shit. They've gone to one playoff game since they've been here.
Right.
We don't got to win. We don't have to be the Knights. The Knights won the Cup. That's different. They played for the Cup in the first year. They won the Cup in their 6th year, but we don't have to do that. The bar is really high, but the market is not holding the sports teams to that standard. They might begin to, but as of right now, Raider games are sold out, whether it be Raider fans or opposing fans' tickets who come in. And they're paying some of the highest prices for tickets in the NFL.
That they are.
So the A's are going, we can go there and be 500. Like, we don't have to be any good. We just go in there and just be somewhat mediocre, and people are going to go. That's why they want to come here, for other teams' fan bases and for the markets and for other events and concerts and residencies and everything else. Being multi-purpose ballpark. They'll have events there constantly. They'll have big AAU tournaments that will come through and play there. They'll play national championship baseball there. They'll do all sorts of things in that venue.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't know what makes it work between now and then. They're going to have a really tough time.
They got to win. Got to build a winner.
It's the movie Major League. They're not even trying to win. They're just trying to get here.
Nope,
there's no way.
It's crazy, but we'll see how before I get really interested, excited, breaking down the roster and the future and the prospects and everything else, I need to know where the ballpark's going to be built. Like you need to tell me where this thing is going, because if you try to fuck with that intersection that MGM Grand is on, all right, we already had F1 ruin our life. I'm not interested in dealing with traffic for 3 or 4 years, driving to UNLV to teach my class, to deal with massive overflow and spillover because the busiest intersection in the state of Nevada is getting fucked with by a ballpark being built that we never asked for.
Oh, it's going to be wild. I can't believe it. It come full circle. The first, player pitch minor league team, we called it, 9-year-old for me, was the A's.
Right.
So the A's were my favorite team from the time I was a little kid. American League team.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a letter to Oakland and got a Billy Ball bumper sticker and all this other stuff when I was a little kid. So I have A's memorabilia and stuff from the 70s. And it's all coming full circle that I live in a city in Vegas that didn't have a team that's going to have a team in the A's. I can't wait. I have a leather jacket, a white leather jacket that's actually like completely like this is rock star stuff. I didn't ask my dad where it came from, but he got it for me. I used to wear it around Penn State. People were like, who is this Jagoff wearing a white leather Oakland A's jacket that was reversible with green satin on the other side? It's gorgeous. I can't wait to break it out. We got a team. We're going to have a team here. I mean, the kids are like, so they're coming for now. Yeah, we're going to have a team. You know, they go to the minor league park, 25 games a year. I mean, you know, I don't know where my kids are going to be living in 4 years. Hopefully I'm going to be living here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have baseball tickets. I'm going to be going to the games. Unless it's down in that area that's going to be a nightmare getting in and out of, and then we're going to have to figure something out.
Amen to that. I better to book a time. Ravens team total over 23.5 at -135.
I think it goes over. Bet it.
Game over too?
I like the over.
Yeah.
We'll be on Sports Grid tonight, and I'll be talking about the game in game. Hopefully we'll be headed toward a first half over by the time I come on, and we'll go that route.
Mm. The puck line for the Blues tonight was +145 against San Jose.
Laying 1.5.
Yep.
It's a little scary, no?
Very scary. It's just you just have no choice.
Oh yeah, we're calling it the GPP, general principle play.
You just have to I don't care what the number is, but you can give me nearly 1.5 to 1 on a team that loses by more than 1 goal all the time. With goaltenders, both goaltenders give up over 4 goals a game.
The Better Book at Graphic got Ryan Andrew Fletcher. Said you scared the hell out of him with the stinger.
Sorry.
I mean, we're sticking to this. We're going to see this all the way through.
I'm not betting it blindly. He's keeping track. I'm not betting it blindly, but I can't pass this up. It might lose. If it loses, it loses. Like, okay, but it's just you're giving me +145 on a bet that's cashed only 3 times this year. It hasn't cashed.
Right. Out of 15 games, right?
Yeah,
played 15, I think. Yeah.
You just have to bet it. You have no choice.
If you guys have anything, by the way, put it in a super chat right now because we're going to get to the super chats here in a second. So I just saw one flash by on the chat. Okay. So
OKC -2.5 against the Warriors.
Oh, this screams danger. Danger. Will
Rogers. All three of my bets are just it can't be that easy, right? Can't be that easy.
This is Warriors. Yeah.
Can't be that easy.
I'd book
no Green, no Curry.
Right.
Boston had no Porzingis and no Brown.
And they won
by double digits. So, but I'm betting OKC.
Scary.
Finally, Vegas in regulation against Montreal.
So Edmonton wins last night, but they win in overtime. The regulation bet got you.
Both my bets got me. Both wins.
Oh, shit. Vancouver won an OT too.
Both teams. If I had
shit.
I got broke. I got beat on both games going to overtime, and both teams won that I bet.
Does that hurt any different than a normal loss?
No, it's just a loss.
I mean, because it's way less juice. It's okay.
Way less.
Are you rooting against them when they go to overtime?
No. It's just like son of a bitch when they win. I'm like, you bastards. Because it's a different game. It's 3-on-3 and it's
right. You know, yeah,
it's different.
Right.
Everything. But
oh man,
Vancouver and Edmonton both won. But it proved my point though that Edmonton's going to get hot. That Edmonton's a bet on.
They were trailing the third period, and Kane got a couple goals, got it back, and he actually got the game winner. That was fun.
They're a bet.
Boy, coming off a loss to Washington, you have to figure Vegas wins this game.
Yep.
Yeah, this is probably a bet
against a bad team.
Yeah,
bad team. So, super chat questions. Let's grab a couple of them here. Big business. I want to wish my wonderful wife a happy birthday. Love you, gorgeous. I know you'll be watching this on the replay. Happy birthday to Mrs. Big Business.
Absolutely. Happy birthday.
Met her.
We did
when we signed him up.
We did. We met her mom,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mama Big Business, mother-in-law,
Yeah.
and Big Business was all together. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. The Monty show, Big Business is right. The Monty show is the one that we were talking about for Michigan with the U.S. integrity stuff. That's true. It was called the Monty show. I just don't know where the Monty show is based. That was my question.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Was that a Michigan show or is that an Ohio show? Because it matters to me where they're located. Dave's Daily Pick said, you're going to laugh at me, but I think Shohei to the A's, absolute splash for the move. Also, Pacers, Celtics, Eastern Conference Finals.
Holy crap.
Can you imagine Ohtani pitching here?
No.
Be fun. He's just not going to spend 4 years in Oakland before he comes here.
No
Sorry.
chance. He
Yeah.
already rejected an offer from the Angels. I think he's, already
He
got
did.
his mindset somewhere else. Yeah, he rejected a qualifying offer from the Angels. Yeah. It was like 20 million a year or 25 million a year or something. Yeah. He
Right.
said, "No, I'm good. Thanks, bro."
Dodgers, here I come.
Yeah.
Big Business says, why can't you build the ballpark in BFE?
It's not how things work out here. You cannot bumfuck East.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
Where-
Like, what are they going to put it out in
where would
Henderson?
fuck East be?
Yeah. BFE. That
But
would
where?
be far out in Henderson.
I mean,
Or-
you could, but no one's going to go. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Nothing out west is different than back east. We've talked about this. You drive places for 30 minutes back east, or even
Like
in the
nothing.
Midwest.
I mean, Fenway is an hour and a half.
You go like you're going to the game. You just leave the time and you're going to go. Out west, people don't drive more than 30 minutes anywhere. If it's 30 minutes away, like, yeah, the hell with it. I don't need it because I'm somewhere closer. Has the same thing. That's the difference in places like here. And I mean, even Phoenix was like that when I lived there. When the Coyotes moved out to Glendale, it went away. Like that, people just stopped going.
Wow.
I don't know if you put a baseball park in.
You
I
can
don't
put it in
know,
Henderson.
out by the M.
You could put it in Henderson. You could put it by the Raiders practice facility. And there's a lot of people who live out there. We talked about yesterday a little bit, but the whole Inspirata, explosion that's going on out there. There's enough people in Henderson that could support a Major League Baseball ballpark if they put it out there. It's just that's what they want. The A's want tourists. They want people to be able to get off the airplane and be in their seat in 20 minutes.
Right.
So that's what the Raiders wanted. It's what everyone wants. So like they're going to fight over the most expensive strip of real estate in the country, basically trying to find. They want to demo the Tropicana. The reason why it's 4 years, they got to take down a gigantic property and clean the whole thing out, and then they got to build. The Raiders were building on an empty lot.
Right.
It's a totally different time frame for building it to do that. So, Crunchy Dave, if your dad doesn't tell you where something came from, the answer is always it fell off of a truck. Tell me I'm wrong. I bet 10 games today, so I'll spare Matt from reading them all.
He's right. I still say that. Must have fallen off a truck. I don't know how it got there. It fell off a truck. It works. It still works to this day.
East Coast line. Big Business says Coyotes money line, Canucks money line, Boston College plus 2.5 tonight against BC.
Is BC to play in the Pitt game?
I can't believe that Pitt's favored. I've seen tons.
How is BC going to go favored on the road? Is this the BC was a dog in Syracuse, so they went and won? They're going to go win on the road tonight?
I mean, I'm on Boston College, most likely in game. I'm going to wait. I want to watch a little bit because I think it's wrong. But if BC can move the football offensively, BC's the side. I don't know. I've seen tons of people on Pitt. I'm like, Pitt's awful. Like, what am I missing?
Terrible.
That's why I didn't bet it because I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I'm not seeing something clearly.
I think Pitt's the side. I got to find out some more information about that. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
You think Pitt's the side?
I do.
Okay, that's why I'm not betting it. I'm staying away from it just until in game. I want to watch it and see what it looks like, and then I'll do it. But what, Matt? Don't say you're sorry. We know that you're not. What did I apologize for?
Bear Mullings. I don't know, Bear.
What did I apologize for?
Me and Bear live about 8 minutes apart. We didn't
Nice.
even know that.
Fontainebleau, new employee,
Right?
Mr. Bear Mullings.
Can't wait
Congratulations.
to go see this guy at work down there.
Go to the Pit and see him.
That's
Favorite
right.
thing about today is what?
Two things. One, Sonic got his hat, and a bunch of other people are going to get their hats. And the acknowledgement And then it's a way of personally connecting with each and every one of you that listen or watch the show. And I fucking love it. So we're going to do more of that. We're, guys, if you've reached out to Matt or the show at Boston versus the book, continue to do that because I'm working on stuff with, maybe a t-shirt and a hoodie and stuff in time for, the holidays, something with a little BVB logo and maybe an always forward, never straight, something like that. I don't know. Working on something. Number 2, favorite thing about today is that I want to remind everybody that's a part of the Brigade Proxy service that's sending in their picks. And I'll remind you again tomorrow, and I'm going to remind you again on Saturday and on Sunday. Next week is Thanksgiving, and it's going to be messed up. And people get messed up Wednesday night before Thanksgiving and everything else. We have some survivors left. You must get your picks in on Wednesday, okay? All of you must get your picks in on Wednesday because you have to use a Thursday game. Survivor. You have to use a Thursday game or the Friday, Black Friday game between Miami at the Jets.
Four game options, 8 teams.
8 teams, but you probably only have 2 left that you can use. But that's fine. Yep. Just a reminder, we're going to hear it on the show, wherever you listen to the podcast. Watch
the Cowboys
the show,
lose.
Right,
Cowboys.
Exactly. So, and if you use the games in the millions, which of course everybody's still in, and we were going through the standings this week, some of you are right there, boys. Keep the winners coming. No pressure. Just keep picking the games. If you're going to use the Thanksgiving Day games, get them to us on Wednesday by 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, just like today's deadline. Today's deadline, we got a couple picks already. I saw, the Brigade Proxy Service, 702-570-8255. Text your picks in Wednesday. This is your daily reminder. You're going to get a daily reminder for the next 5 days. I have a note right here. Say the Brigade Proxy Service. Get your picks. We've had tremendous success with it. We're going to grow it next year. All of that said, I don't want to screw up now. The guys that are left in Survivor have a real opportunity. That thing is getting real.
9 million.
Real fucking real.
9 million.
Don't not put the picks in.
Or send us the pick. We'll put it in for you, but you may not like you may not like who we pick.
Yeah.
So don't make us pick for you.
Please.
we will, but I think you'd rather have the path yourself on that. Right. I have one, but it's more of a lesson that I've learned a while ago, but it got reinstated to me today, that discipline over motivation for everything. Motivation means you're excited to do something. Discipline means you do it when you're not. Amen. So I am almost through phase 1 of the hard 75, but I am sore as fuck today. Got up this morning and it's like I'm at the end of this and every part of my body is sore. My Achilles
all this moisture and clouds in the air too.
My Achilles is fucking killing me. I woke up last night in the middle of the night. My elbow is screaming at me. I'm like, oh God, what is with my elbow? My elbow is so sore. Like it just completely woke me up. I was in so much pain.
Wow.
My left knee, my left knee today, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, it feels like tendonitis. I'm banged up.
Oh boy.
Watch Dana White's video this morning. He did an 86-hour fast, which I am now incredibly 100% doing in December. Once college football is over, I am 100% doing this.
Just water?
No, water with electrolytes in bone broth for protein for 86 hours.
That's 4 days.
Yeah.
3.5 days.
Yeah. 100% doing it. So I'm going to challenge myself to do that probably in December over a weekend, but I got to figure out how and when and where, but I'm 100% doing it. But I ran out. I ran a 5.
Not do it over the weekend because then you're going to be such a crank ass on Saturday.
I'll be quick. I'll be in and out because I can't be around food, but I'll figure out. I don't know. I may do it in January. I don't know. I am 100% finding 4 days where I can do this, and I am doing this. This is one because I was awesome. It was great to watch it because I'm younger than Dana, so it's just to see him do that and just like that's phenomenal. It reminded me of why at 40 everything changed for me because in my 20s I had the metabolism of, I could eat whatever I wanted. I could do fucking anything. It was my metabolism. In my 30s, I kept on thinking that my body was going to do what it was supposed to do, which is I can eat whatever I want, do whatever I want. It's all gonna fall off me because that's happened in all of my 20s.
Right.
And then I got to 40 and everything was fucked up. And all my numbers were bad. I was pre-everything when I went to the doctor, my 40th checkup. And he's like, everything's bad. Cholesterol's horrible. Everything's bad. 2 months after going in for that checkup, I'm on an operating table getting my gallbladder removed because I had gallstones and it was going to erupt because it was blocked. So everything had to change.
Have you told my wife that about the gallbladder? That's what she thinks she got.
We had a long talk about this 2 weeks ago. Maybe you weren't there, but yeah, I mean, she has gallstones, and we talked about it. I had a blockage. I woke up in the middle of the night with something stabbing me in the chest, and I had to go to the hospital. I drove myself to the hospital. I walked in. They did an ultrasound, and an hour later, I was literally out. They were cutting me open and taking it out. It was like boom. They're like, go get that. That's going to erupt. Go get this now because it's going to erupt on you, and we're not going to have it. It's bad if it bursts. So they went in and got it out. From that moment on, everything changed in my life. It's where I found boxing. It's when I found, myself again and everything. But discipline over motivation got me up this morning to go run a 5K, got me into my cold plunge this morning, which I didn't want to fucking do. It's cold and raining and awful outside, and going in freezing water wasn't exactly something I wanted to do. I did it. Doing here, posting it up, going back to the gym, going for a second workout here to go get fired up. If you need any motivation, you don't need motivation. You need dedication. If you can find a way to be motivated, it is fleeting. Finding the dedication and finding the discipline to do things when you don't want to do it. It's the biggest lesson I learned from reading David Goggins and watching David Goggins and following David Goggins is just that your mind is your biggest enemy. And this morning, my mind wanted to sit in fucking bed for an hour and a half and not do shit. Yeah. And I ran, 3.1 miles, telling my brain to go fuck off. So that's my favorite thing about today.
How's your Achilles right now?
My right arm is so fucking sore. My shoulder is fucked up. This is what happens. I got through this and the hard 75. This is right when my body started to break down, and I had to change my workouts because I was breaking down, and I'm breaking down now. But I only have, I have got 5 days after today, and I'm done. So I'm just gonna suck it up and go fucking. I mean, cold plunges that's the biggest change of this versus the hard 75. Is the cold plunge is life altering. I fucking hate it, but 50-degree water for 5 minutes every single day. The inflammation in my body is just gone afterwards. Right. It's beautiful. It's better than any ibuprofen, anything I've ever taken in my life to stop inflammation in my body. That alone has been fucking. I'll probably keep doing cold plunges afterwards, but of course, I love when my mind doesn't win, when I can overcome my own mind and realize that my mind is my worst enemy. Right. My favorite thing about today.
Awesome.
Roll call Friday tomorrow.
Big day tomorrow. Boys.
Always a big day. Big show, big day. It's one of our last roll call Fridays for the college football season. This is really depressing.
We're going to do roll call Wednesday next week.
Right.
Which will be people know. Yeah. So we're going to do roll call Friday tomorrow, and then it's roll call
Thursday,
Wednesday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The first 4-day week and break we've had for BVB in a while. This would be good for us to kind of recharge and get ready to go.
So we're not doing that show Friday morning?
We're
going to do that. Maybe do a Twitter Spaces or something.
Yeah, we'll do that. We can do, that's
30
fine.
minutes something just to get.
Yeah, we'll do something quick.
Next week it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, and then full show will be off Wednesday for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then back. Although you're going to get me on Sports Grid Friday and Saturday, you probably too. I'm assuming at some point, right? On Sports Grid.
No one said a word to me about shit.
Oh, well, maybe you get a break, a little vacay. Kick your heels up. Rest the vocal cords. Roll call Friday tomorrow. Be here. Do not miss it. It's always a lot of fun. Matt, Dave, back for Friday tomorrow. Roll call Friday for BVB.
Get your picks in.